Hey guys, Metal Jesus here, and I'm back again with Rock Reggie.
What's up, buddy?
What's up? Whoa.
What happened here?
I think we're in a video game.
This is strange, man. What's going on?
Yet kind of perfect.
Well, I think it might be perfect.
Yeah.
Because actually, what we're going to do in this video, we're going to bring back the hidden gems at the end of the video. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
That's right. And mine, dude, has taken me years to find. Literally years to find. It's pretty hidden. I think people are going to be kind of surprised. So
let's check it out.
Let's take a look. All right, dude. I think I'm going to go first.
Let's do it. Let's see what you got.
We got to talk about it. Resident Evil Requiem.
Yeah.
I don't know. Were you obsessed with this game?
I was. I was really pumped up for its release. Yeah. It got so crazy that the physical games were like out of stock, so people were panicking at the time for it.
It's funny you mention that because you're right, because I went to another castle and I mentioned that and they're like, oh yeah, we got 9 copies. It shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, I was there when they opened, you know,
right.
So I want to make sure I got a copy. Sure enough, the next day I went back, they're like, wow, okay, you weren't kidding. Like everybody, they were sold out with like in an hour.
Yeah,
that first
crazy.
Day.
Yeah. So I almost bought a digital version of it because I was feeling that hard for it. But luckily, my pre-order came through and it arrived the day of, which is great.
And I mean, playing it immediately.
Yeah, so going into the game itself, you know, I really liked it a lot. I felt like this Resident Evil 9, I call it Resident Evil 9, even Requiem. Yeah. It should have been what Resident Evil Village was, you know what I mean? Like it should have been the place of that game. Because Village felt weird to me. 9 Requiem felt fantastic. I love how they brought Leon back. You know, it's just like
well, you have 2 different types of gameplay, right? You have Grace, who is
survival horror,
survival horror, and then you have Leon, which is more action shooting. I mean, and it kind of goes back and forth.
Yeah,
dude, this game's a masterpiece. I loved this game.
Yeah. I was.
What do you mean? Are you hesitating?
I'm gonna give it out of a 10. I would give it a 9.
How many times did you play it?
I played it 5 times.
Okay.
I got my platinum on it. You know, I made sure I did everything. I just felt that there was a little bit more they could have added to it, which we're going to get in the DLC soon. So, post this video down the line, you guys will see DLC for it. Then I think I could really judge it to where I might give it a 10.
You're harder on this game than I am. But dude, first of all, I took my time playing it the first time. And by the way, we're not going to show any spoilers because it's relatively new. People are still kind of talking about it. So the gameplay footage you guys are seeing
trailers and footage.
Or my second playthrough.
Okay.
Where I've got a different code on and stuff like that. But dude, the one thing I want to mention about this that I really appreciated was all the different options that you can customize the game.
Yeah.
Because I love playing stealth games, but I really like to play them in third person so I can kind of see what's around me. And so I appreciated that it allowed me to do that with Grace's levels, even though it kind of tripped you up, though.
Yeah, because what I noticed when you play as Grace in third person, she'll in certain situations she'll trip over her feet and everything like that. But in first person mode, she won't trip at all.
Yeah,
it's just a steady pace, pretty much.
It's interesting how they made that decision to try to make it balanced or something like that. Also, too, I really appreciated with Leon how you could turn on the option that if he aims, that it doesn't necessarily have to go down the sights.
Right.
Which again, you can stay in third person. That's how I played that section. But dude, the graphics, oh my god. The second half of this game in Raccoon City, I just walked around and looked at stuff. I mean, it was beautiful. It was really cool. Yeah.
I mean, beautiful for what Raccoon City is at the time, of course. You know.
Well, it's funny, though, because I was looking at that level, or that part of the game. I was like, man, this is what the next Fallout game could look like. You know what I mean? With these type of graphics. But yeah.
Yeah, like, if I mean, how open it is, it looks at least. I mean, they could actually add more onto it. And hopefully when the mercenary modes comes out, you know, Raccoon City will obviously be one of the places you can go to. And maybe you can go to other places and explore a little bit more. But it is amazing. And they just added a photo mode as of this video, so now we can take pictures of certain...
I believe it, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely that was my favorite part in the game. You know, Leon...
Yeah. Well, Grace was frustrating. I will say, though, that you and I watched a non-spoiler tip video, which helped greatly because essentially I went for all of those getting the injector thing, you know, getting that with the coins first, be completely leveled up as much as possible because you don't necessarily get to go back and do that later on in the game.
Right.
That was a very helpful tip as well.
Yeah. Grace was pretty annoying character. It's like stop crying, stop all this stuff. Like get with it. But I think she's a good character for newcomers to the series, especially for survival horror because they couldn't put Leon in her situation because obviously he's been through it. So a new character will react to the horror differently, which I think it was perfect for her. Yeah. It's just I've seen the horror for years, so I get annoyed with little stuff like that.
Yeah, so. I agree. Well, I really enjoyed my time with this. I'm on my second playthrough at this point, but I have to catch up to you playing 5 times through.
That's awesome, platinum, man. Yeah.
Dude, how quickly do you have to beat it to get the platinum?
You have to beat it under 4 hours to get one of the trophies. That's the time one. But the platinum, it took me to do all the gameplay. I would say probably around 35 hours of playing the game.
That's not crazy. Yeah.
So going through it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, that's my first one.
All right. My first one here, I got to dig for it because I put it at the bottom here. This might be a little bit strange to some people, but hey, we got Life is Strange Reunion.
Okay, you are a big fan of the. So, what is this? I haven't heard of Reunion before.
So it's the third chapter in the Max Caulfield story, where she was in the first game, which everybody thinks is awesome because the rewind ability was pretty cool. And then they continued her story last year. I forgot what the last game was called before this with her in it, but this is going to conclude her story.
Okay.
And this came in the mail the other day.
Okay.
And I said, you know what, man, let me play it again, man, because if they're going to conclude the story, then I like that. We'll see what happens with it. You know, they might bring some cool effects back. But the Life is Strange series over the years, Life is Strange 2 was like, dude, that game was like, I couldn't even finish it because it was so dark with certain points in it. I was like, man.
You mean like emotionally dark?
Yeah, because I was like, dude, like first you're homeless, then there's a cult chapter. It's like, I was like, I'm done.
Bumming you out?
Yeah, and then I played True Colors and that was cool. And then the last one, which I forgot what it was called before this one, that one was okay, but this one hopefully will kind of like, will fix what was wrong with that one. But you know, I thought it was a pretty good series.
Yeah.
It's just the problem is with these type of games, they got to keep the same writers on board. When you have all these different writers, it makes things weird. Yeah, it's just all mixed up. But,
gosh, it's been a while since the first game came out. I played that a while ago. Was that PS4 game?
PS4 and Xbox. Yeah, I think 2015 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So,
Huh. All right, good pick. I didn't realize that was out
or yet. Strange pick. You know. Maybe.
Yeah. All right, next up, something completely different, old school. This game is so cool. So this is for the NES. This is a brand new game, and I really dig this game. It's basically if you took Arkanoid, brick breaking, mixed in with Castlevania style progression. It's cool.
Yeah, I like this cover a lot. This looks really cool.
Dude, the graphics in this game are really solid. And again, this is a brand new physical NES game here. It's got a manual. But basically, you have boss battles, you have progression. You can kind of choose which directions you want to go. And but then again, the gameplay itself is actually very much like Arkanoid, which I really do like those kind of games. Yeah. So I was very impressed with this. I liked it quite a bit.
Broke Studio, I got a couple games from them.
Yeah.
To talk about.
I was excited to get this. This is awesome. So, and I know that cover is epic, right?
Yeah, it is, dude. Heck yeah. Right on, man. Okay, cool. Next game I got here. Where is it? Yes. Probably should have been the first game I talked about. Oops. Dropped something on the dog. But here is Reanimal for the PS5.
So, I'm glad that you got this. I've been hearing about this. Okay.
Dude, so this is from the creators of Little Nightmares, as most of you guys should know.
That's what I know this from.
And this to me, is the true Little Nightmares 3.
Right.
Little Nightmares 2 at the time, I guess it was kind of nerfed from what they wanted it to be, so they kind of broke off and did their own game.
Okay.
And I gotta tell you guys, this game is dark. Me and my buddy Chris played through the whole game together, and it's like, dude, like, I don't know, we didn't know what the hell was going on in the beginning. I mean, we kind of started to piece things together, but the game is so dark and eerie, and then you're dealing with kids, like, going through the horrors, insane, man. Like, I was like, dude, like, there was a part in the game where there was, like, this freaking monster in the water, and I accidentally got near it, and that thing just swallowed us whole. It was just crazy.
Did you just like scream or swear?
Nothing made me like jump up, like be scared and nothing like that. But it's just like the horror, like the dread. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's crazy. And unfortunately, these type of games, even though they're indie titles, they're doing that seasonal type pass stuff. So there's a lot of content that should have been in the game that's probably cut for the yearly DLC, which is annoying. So I feel like when you don't have a game like this complete, people will fall off because there's so many other games out there.
Well, you know why they do that sometimes is because they don't want you to trade it in. They want you to keep it, right?
Right.
And come back to it and not get distracted by all these other games, I guess, is the idea behind that. But it is annoying.
It is.
Especially if you're paying full price.
Yeah, close to it because I paid the cheapest because the season pass, if it's not here yet, I'm not buying it. So I got the $39 version. But it's a good game for what it is. It leaves you with more questions than answers at the end. So I don't know if that's going to hook people, but we did have a good experience playing it online. Had some cool enemies to go against. So yeah.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Next up for me, you know that I've been spending more and more time on Whatnot. We're actually talking about this before the camera rolls.
Yeah.
It could be an addictive place on there. And I found a very addictive seller on there a couple weeks ago. The channel,
my God.
Express Collectibles was the name. And it's funny because I hopped into that just randomly, and it was kind of interesting because he was getting a little annoyed because he was on the back of the games. He for his own he was tracking how much he was paying.
Right.
And the stuff was actually bidding for less than he was paying. So he was kind of, because there wasn't very many people in there at that particular time. So my point of bringing this all up is that you can find deals on Whatnot and kind of go crazy sometimes. So I picked up these two games here.
Yep, the Precinct.
The Precinct. So I had heard so much about this game. Have you heard very much about this?
I've seen it, but I never paid attention to it. So what's that like?
Dude, it's really fun. It's like the old school Grand Theft Autos. Where it's kind of more top down. However, you're playing as a cop. You're playing as a beat cop, and you have to follow police procedure. Like, it's very strict about this. Like, you have to, when you're following somebody, you have to pace their cars. You have to pull them over. You have to, you have to go through all the procedures of doing it correctly. There's shootouts. You're busting drug dealers on the streets. Everything has to do with playing as a cop. You're even flying the helicopters, like tracking people as they're trying to get away from crimes.
Oh, wow.
It's a pretty fun game. I was really addicted to it. And then this one right here,
yes,
I saw.
I'm shocked to see this because yes, we have talked about this before, and I'm happy that you have it.
It popped up in his auction, and I was like, oh, I don't have that yet. And Reggie talked about that in the last video. So yeah, that's Rogue Flight. So
it's a fantastic game, and it plays like Afterburner. It's really well done. I actually got to talk to the creator of the game, and he kind of told me the steps of how he made the game. You can have an amazing time with this one, man.
I'm looking forward to it.
You see me play it here.
Yeah, for sure.
It is mind blowing. I mean, it's a shock that a lot of people still don't know about this game. I'm gonna keep pushing for it. Letting people know about it. But dude, you're gonna love this. Man.
I definitely am
playing it, dude. Like, awesome.
Yeah. So that leads into the sponsor of this video, Whatnot. You guys know that I love buying games at local game stores or expos and conventions, but I get it. Not everybody has that kind of access where they live. And truthfully, even here, I don't always find what I'm after. So sometimes I take the hunt online. That's where an app like Whatnot comes in handy. It's a live streaming platform where people buy, sell, and auction just about anything. For collectors and gamers, it's an awesome place to score deals on video games, both retro and modern, as well as all kinds of other cool stuff. Sure, you guys know I'm all about video games, but I also collect vinyl records and the occasional action figure. And here's a special bonus for Metal Jesus viewers. When you download the Whatnot app using my link, you'll get $20 to spend anywhere on the app. Normally they offer $15, but for my audience, they're kicking that up to $20. That credit gets automatically added to your wallet and applies at checkout, so it's super easy. Just a heads up though, this offer is only available for a limited time, so you don't want to wait too long to jump on it. Whether you're into video games, music, sneakers, toys, jewelry, or pretty much anything else that's collectible, Whatnot is absolutely worth checking out. And a huge thanks to them for sponsoring this video.
Okay, so the next game here, my buddy James, a Big Game James from the PlayStation Dead podcast. Thank you for this. We were at the Game On Expo recently, and he told me that I should pick this one up. Killer Frequency for PS4. So
Team 17.
Yeah,
the Worms team.
Yeah, dude, they're doing good stuff. So game's available for Switch, PS5. So I didn't really pay too much attention to it at first, but when he told me about it, basically you play as a radio show host, and it takes place in 1987. You have a co-host with you, but there's a serial killer out there, and he's tracking people, and there's a disconnection with 911, so you have to help the police because one of the police officers gets killed. There's two of them left, and then you have to help them kind of like escort people out from safety. Out from the bad situations and stuff like that. So you're basically playing as a 911 operator helping people escape the killer. And it gets twisted, man. I had to help this lady hotwire her car to figure out how to hotwire her car because she lost her keys because the killer was after her.
Yeah.
If you mess up during the hotwire sequence, he'll get her or she'll electrocute herself. So it's like, it's very tense. It's a lot of good voice acting in it, good music that you can play while you're dealing with the situations, I guess.
Okay.
I'm not that far in it. I saved 2 people so far.
Okay.
And I think if you save everybody, you get a different ending. But it's very, like, it really pulls you in because you really want to save these people depending on how they sound.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Huh, okay.
Or depending on how polite they are to you. I mean, it depends on how you react to them or whatever like that. But it's got great voice acting. It's really compelling. I mean, you want to keep playing to see what happens. And I thought that was a pretty good pickup, man. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one.
I've never heard of that. Okay.
Yeah.
So many games I've never heard of. Okay, well, next up for me is something a little bit different here. You guys love physical media, and I wanted to mention Old School Gamer Magazine. So they reached a milestone recently where they put out their 50th edition. This isn't, like, basically an anniversary. And essentially what they decided to do was cover the entire history of video games and pick out some of the influential, must-own, must-play games, starting all the way back in the very beginning, moving up through
lots of detail in here. Wow.
Yeah, and so they got a bunch of writers to contribute to this, and and so it's a bunch of different people, writing about the eras that they're the most passionate about, or the games that they're most passionate about. It's funny because I was showing it was upstairs in my living room, and my younger nephew Will he picked it up and he was fascinated by it because you don't see this stuff. You have to kind of look out. You have to hunt it out, right? And, and also too, when it's online, it's not the same, you know what I mean? And as opposed to sitting down on your couch, while you're watching TV, looking at a magazine.
Or even on the can,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's cool. So I wanted to throw this out there. They've been around for, several years now. They pump out great issues every quarter or something like that.
This is awesome. He's putting this together. I miss the days of going to the bookstores and seeing all the gaming magazines or whatever magazines you read. They're just ready to to look at, man. It was great. So I miss those days. And
their regular issues are all over the place. Like they'll cover new releases, old releases. It's very much. I guess the reason I'm saying is that if you want to keep up on sort of new retro and and like some of the like for instance at the back here they talk about the Vectrex Mini. That's what reminded me of that.
Okay.
And so they'll do interviews and they'll probably review that when that comes out. So, anyways, just want to mention Old School Gamer Magazine.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, this is kind of like full circle for us in this game. So next game here I got on Dreamcast. This is Twinkle Star Sprites. When I first met Jason, this is one of the games I told him about. He's like, what the heck are you talking about? What is this?
I said that a lot back in the day. I know. I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
But they had the Dreamcast version, which I've been looking for a while, and I got it for a pretty good deal. So
was this a Game On or?
Yeah, it was a Game On. It plays in English and everything like that. So it's a good port of the game. Twinkle Star Sprites is one of those unique shooters that just didn't get a lot of popularity back in the day. It's a versus shoot 'em up, vertical shoot 'em up.
Oh, so, okay, yes.
Yeah, it's very unique. There's another game that's kind of like it. It's like Rival Mega Gun, which we talked about on the channel.
Yeah.
But when I saw it, I just said that was a good opportunity because I like collecting games on my Dreamcast. It's one of my favorite systems up there, so I like playing that on there. But yeah, Twinkle Star Sprites. I mean, it's a little bit more available now. You could get it through the ADV collection, I think it is.
It came out.
I forgot what it's called. It's AD something.
But there's collections that
that you can play it or download it too if you want. So everybody can play it. But it's just a great game, and just a lot of people just don't know about it. So hopefully we're putting the word out for it here.
I know, right?
So yeah,
that's cool. Okay. All right, next up for me is, let's see here. Where do I want to go next? I'm going to talk about this game here. So this is The Pale Beyond. Yes.
Okay.
Dude, I was obsessed with this.
Yeah?
I didn't know anything about this game, and I was like, well, let's give it a shot. So essentially what it is, it's interesting. It's like a survival adventure game where you are you take this boat with this crew to the Antarctica and they get stuck in the ice.
You're like on this frozen wasteland, which is terrifying.
And essentially you have to survive.
Right.
And this whole game is about trying to keep people alive, make sure that they're happy, fed, and then also try to get out of this situation. And it's fascinating because it goes in chunks of weeks, and so every week you have to meet with people who have grievances. Some people are fighting. Sometimes you have to make life and death decisions, and decide, hey, somebody might have to die this week.
It's not like on a timer though when you make the decision, is it? Because that makes it
No. You always know when that's going to happen. Essentially, because you also do a lot of other stuff in between those final decision makings before the week advances. But yeah, fascinating video. It reminds me. It's kind of like, again, it's sort of like a resource management adventure game.
Okay.
That's super addictive. There's a lot of different endings and way that this game can go. Plus, your character has 3 different, if I remember right, backgrounds, and so depending on your character's background too, can also influence how people react with you. So I was quite impressed with this game. It was way better than I expected it to be. So
right on, man.
Yeah,
good stuff, man. Super rare.
Yeah,
putting them out.
Yep.
Okay, so next game here. Whew, man. So happy this finally got the physical release, even though I played it before. We have Fear the Spotlight for the PS5. Supposed to come out for Switch, but some reason that got delayed, or just they threw that in the background. But survival horror game that's very reminiscent of the old school ones on the PS1. You play as 2 high school girls. Well, you do get to play as another character, I believe. I just haven't got to that part yet. But it's pretty scary because they go to the school at night and they want to play with a Ouija board or whatever like that.
Never a good idea.
Yeah, never a good idea. But they sneak in because a school building at night is terrifying looking. There's barely any lights on. It looks horrible. But what ends up happening, there's a tragedy that happened at the school before where these kids were killed on the bus, and they have their memorial on the library wall where you go and use the Ouija board at. When you use the Ouija board, something crazy happens. The world is a little bit different. It becomes more like Silent Hill. And then when you go and look at the picture of the kids on the wall, they look all jacked up and everything. Like, so you know something's wrong. And there's like the spotlight that's like after you, and it's pretty scary. It has good puzzles in it too. It's just very compelling. It's like very like reminiscent of the old school PS1 RPG era. I mean, not RPG, survival horror era. So I think a lot of people will like it. It's
I am 8-bit. So they put out some interesting stuff, both vinyl.
Well, I think this is Blumhouse Studios for one of their first games. Yeah, they're on here because I am 8-bit is their publisher and everything.
Probably the publisher, yeah.
But yeah, dude, like seriously, this is a good game, man.
Okay,
and I think a lot of people like it. It's pretty scary, so definitely it's something that people want to keep their eye out for.
Very cool. All right, something that is not very scary. It is the opposite of scary. That is Mario Tennis Fever. So, dude. I don't play a lot of sports games, but I have 2 exceptions, and that is snowboarding and that's skateboarding and tennis. And primarily because my wife loves also playing tennis as well, and it's just one of those things. So this came out recently on the Switch 2, and we picked it up, and it's so much fun. Yeah. Basically, it's tennis with Mario characters, but the big thing here is that you have a racket that has different powers to it, and so like there's one that will, if you do a special hit, you'll basically put fire down on the opponent's side of the court. And
so they'll have to deal with that while
they'll have to deal with fire, or there's one that has ice, and so you can put a big patch of ice that's really slippery on. Or
I can see La Piranha plants could be.
There's a bunch of them that you can unlock and use in here. There's a tornado and stuff like that. So the other night, Paul was over, and it was pretty funny. I was like, "Dude, do you want to play some tennis?" And it's sure. So he fired us up. He's like, "Really? We're gonna do Mario Tennis?"
And then he saw it. He's like, "Whoa!" Okay.
Yeah, we were having a great time with it. So super fun game.
Good stuff, man. And it's not a key card, which is
it is not a key card.
That's good. All right, guys. So my next game is next 2 games. We have Cubit's Quest, and we have Voyage of the Dead. So I was
what is this?
Almost said Valley of the Dead. So these are GunCon games that came out from a series of a company called Mars. There's one other one, which is a Cabela game that I don't have. But if you like light gun type games, they try to bring them back briefly for a little.
Really?
Yeah. And unfortunately, I think these got overlooked, so nobody really knows about them. And
I have never seen this before.
Yeah, wow. So basically what you do is it has a little eye that you have pointed to your television that sees the game. Yeah. And you use the GunCon like that, so it's just like at the arcade. I looked at like a video of it before I bought it because 8-Bit Eric did a video on it, like really detailed, and he said they were pretty decent from what he was playing. He liked them. So yeah, I was pretty impressed. The only thing I was upset about is the game is not physical, but I looked at it like, well, the gun is there, so that's some kind of physical for it.
Oh, interesting.
And then, of course, when I bought these, the guy said the code hadn't been used, but when you buy something used, you can never really depend on that. So I went to go buy the games. They're $20, so I'm gonna wait till a little discount before I pick them up. So
that's kind of annoying, but
I haven't really got to play them yet. But when I get that discount, I'll start playing them. But I trusted Eric's review for it, so I think they're gonna be pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of people don't know these exist.
Dude, I've never seen this before.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? And
yeah.
There's one other game, Cabela. You can play up to 4 players.
Okay. Like the hunting game.
Yeah, you can play that. That one's considered the weaker one out of all of them. Like Voyage did is the one that everybody wants to play. Like this is pretty fun. But yeah, you can play up to 4 players on these games. So
God, I had no idea that these existed. Wow, that's cool.
You could take some zombies out or some whatever
cool.
out. Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, I've never seen that before. Awesome. All right, next up is something a little bit different. I was sent this by, I believe, the producer or the director of this. It's called Going Postal: The Legacy Foretold. This is a documentary about the entire history and the making of the Postal series.
Okay.
Now, I have to be honest with you. I'm familiar with the series, but I'm not like a uber fan or anything. And I was very honest with them, like, yeah, I'll take a look at it, but it may not be for me.
All right.
It blew my mind.
Really?
Legitimately, I was blown. As a matter of fact, I emailed them back after I watched it. I was like, this is really, really good because it's like it's like the underdog story, and people need to remember that when Postal came out, it was so controversial that the government was talking about how dangerous this game was to the public. And what's fascinating is that the little ragtag group of developers and publishers, they really wanted to kind of try to bring video games kind of like movies and books and other media, because in movies you can have violent, graphic, stories and movies and stuff like that. And so they're like, no, we're going to stick to our guns. We're going to do it. And it's total punk rock. It's total attitude. By the end of it, my fist was in the air and I was cheering. Yeah, it was awesome. So, yeah, really, I don't want to oversell it, but also too, I was really, I liked it quite a bit.
Is this documentary, is it being sold on places like Amazon, or you could buy anybody could buy it retail?
That's a great question that I don't know the answer to. I suspect it is. I'll put a link on the screen right here to a website that you guys can find it, because I do highly recommend it for the only reason that it gives you an insight into what it's like to be an indie developer, not only in the 90s, but also because they've done many versions of this, and a movie. The movie was made called Postal. They covered that too.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch. I liked it a lot, so.
What's up, man? Cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Next game here, Irem Collection Part 2.
Oh, cool.
This Part 2 of the collection is like so far the best one for me.
Is it?
Because it has Gun Force Part 2 on there.
Oh, those games are really good.
Now, Gun Force Part 1 came out on Super Nintendo very slow. The arcade game was okay, but Gun Force 2 is what you should be playing on this collection. It's made by the same people. The Metal Slug creators created this game. Like, this is before the Metal Slug games.
That's right.
And, man, it is so good, dude. Like, I was like, this is just fantastic. Like, I played through the game multiple times. Just happy that it has a physical. Now, it was supposed to get a physical from a Strictly Limited. I don't know what happened with that, but I saw that Play Asia had it, so I bought it immediately. I don't want to wait for pre-orders for certain stuff. Like it could take years or whatever like that. So the game's out now. Boom.
Hey, Play Asia, man. I mean, when you buy something from them, if it's in stock, they send it immediately, which I really like. So
exactly, like they're ready to go. But yeah, man. I mean, there's other good games on here too. Air Duel is a cool vertical shoot 'em up, but I just went straight to the Gun Force 2. I mean, it's just like running gun games for us is just where it's at. So if you like Metal Slug, definitely pick up this collection.
And speaking of Play Asia, here's another one that I got from them. This is Super Woden GP, and essentially this is 2 racing games here, and they're newer releases, but they're in that isometric kind of classic style,
kind of like that road game back in the day.
There was a couple of
Super Off-Road. Yeah.
What's cool about them is that what I actually really like with these is that it's all polygon, so it's actually kind of more modern looking. And the second game, they added physics to it, so you take jumps and you're kind of flying. It feels more natural, like an actual racing game.
Right.
And the rally racing in this, I was super addicted to. Rally racing's whenever they call out the corners, so you know how quickly you need to turn and stuff like that, or whether you got a straightaway or some sort of roadblock. But yeah, these are really good games. I actually like them. So they're cool.
East Asia Soft too. So good stuff, man. Cool. Okay. Next one for me is Abathor. I think I pronounced it right.
What?
It's like a platform, like Golden Axe type game. You play up to 4 players, and it's like this game is freaking awesome, and it's been out for a while, and I just kind of like randomly saw a video on Facebook, like randomly showing it.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
And I was like, dude, this is awesome. I just wish that it had the 4-player like online mode, but you have to do couch co-op, obviously.
Okay.
But still, other than that, it's a really fun game and really compelling. You know, like it's a throwback to the old school.
So you got an ad on Facebook?
So basically, yeah, some kind of ad, I was watching a video and an ad popped up of a guy playing a live stream, and it showed him playing that. And I was like, whoa, dude, okay, so this is cool. So, yeah.
You know, those social media companies know us better than we know ourselves, don't they?
Yeah, they know what to throw in there. So I was like, dude, what is this? Because
it's scary sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, but definitely a cool game. Just like I said, needs the online aspect. You know, hey, whatever.
Yeah, okay. All right, next up for me is a game that I pre-ordered a while back, and that is... System Shock 2. This is I guess they're calling this the 25th anniversary remaster. This came out by Limited Run.
You were telling me about this game. You've been telling me about this game for years.
Well, yeah. So there was a time 25 years ago when I know it's scary that it's been a quarter of a century, but that this was probably in my top 3 games of all time. It was this. It was Deus Ex. It was Baldur's Gate 2, and so I haven't played it in a while, but I was so excited to get this. And I have mixed reactions or mixed emotions about this because while this is a fantastic, remaster of the graphics, they updated the co-op code that you can play with people. The graphics are obviously updated and run really, really well.
Right.
However, all of those old school design choices from 25 years ago are also there. So for instance, I was replaying this. I was so excited I got it. I immediately popped it in. And I'm lost. I'm like, because the map is not very good. I'm like, where the heck? So I've spent the last hour going in circles and, and also like melee with a wrench in this game is brutal. It's so slow. Like, and it's also stingy with the ammo and stuff like that. So
yeah, both System Shock games, the remasters are pretty much like that. The first game is worse, but
it is. But what I would love to see them do is do a remake of System Shock 2 and just add in some of that quality of life stuff because the story, the levels are great. I mean, the sound effects are awesome. Yeah,
I think that would have been nice, but I think what they're going for with these releases that they want to see if there's interest in it. And if there's interest in it, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to finish the third game because they want to kind of a third game to kind of round it out.
Interesting, yeah.
Not spoiling any ending, even though it's been 25 years later. Yeah. But let's just say the ending was open-ended in the second game. I think what's really happening is there's a possibility of a third game. So hopefully we'll see that.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where again I can't really fault them. I mean this is a modern coat of paint on a game that's considered a classic. Yeah. And to be quite honest, had they did a bunch of changes, people would have complained about that too, right? Oh, I want the way it originally played. But
that game was hard to play back in the day, if I remember correctly, because you had to have a certain PC. A lot of I don't think there was a lot of PC players at the time this came out. It was like people were more going towards console. Maybe?
Well, that's true. I mean, this was a PC only game, and now it's great. It plays on consoles, and you can even get on Switch and all that stuff. So it's awesome. It definitely is able to reach a larger audience, and it's so interesting when you go back and you replay some of those games and you're like, again, I don't mind if a game's hard, but I'm stuck because I have no ammo. I have no health.
Where am I going?
You know what I mean? It's like I should just look at a walkthrough, of course, but it's also when
a cursor where you could go, what you could react to would have been nice.
Yes,
you can open this door possibly, or
and the slow melee, because in this game you definitely in the beginning have to do a lot of melee, and it's tough. You're like whack 'em, back up, whack 'em, back up.
Old school stuff.
Old school, yeah.
All right, so my next game here. Very happy I finally got this after all these years. I found out about this game because my buddy Marcus, he does the Switch, Destination Switch channel, and this is GTI Club. So
for the Wii. So
it's
a Konami game.
Published by Konami.
Okay.
I think it is made by Konami too. But I played the game originally on the PSN, PS3 online store, so I downloaded it, had a great time with it.
Never heard of it.
Even had people playing it online, but it never got a physical. I didn't know it had a physical on the Wii. And I think this version was actually online to some extent as well. It's a really cool racing game, kart racing game.
Really?
Yeah. Definitely something that's very unique that a lot of people don't know is out
I had no idea, and I usually pay attention to this stuff. So
it's so much fun, Jason. I mean, it's arcade fun, obviously. obviously. But it's a great game. I wish it would have come out on PS3 like as a physical. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people don't know about this game, so definitely something to keep your eye out if you're a Wii collector.
Okay. Yeah. And you know me, and I love my racing games.
Yep,
right?
Yep.
All right, dude. Next up is a game that I was excited to check out. That is Sigma Star Saga.
Oh my God.
DX.
This game, I believe, was in our hidden gems back in the day.
Yeah. And so this is a kind of a tweaked new version of this game, and I played quite a bit of this actually. And so essentially what they did, it's the same kind of game. It's what they did though. So if you guys don't know, this is like a kind of like an old school RPG, but instead of random battles like you would normally get, it's random shooting levels. And
we say also too, it's more of it's like a hybrid too with the shoot 'em up levels, like the shmup levels, right?
Yeah, the shmup levels.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm yeah, that's true. That's what I'm referring to. So essentially what happens is that instead of going into like a Final Fantasy style battle, it's a shoot 'em up, and it's randomized and different every time, and you upgrade your ship with all these different like add-ons and stuff like that. So, however, when that game first came out, there was a lot of random battles to the point where actually it was a bit rough. So they've dialed that back in here. They've also rebalanced the experience in this game. They did a bunch of bug fixes. They also tweaked some of the dialogue, and basically just made the game even better.
Yeah, and it's easier to get around in this version too.
Yes,
so
the map is updated as well.
So definitely, I'm happy you picked this one up, man.
I was really excited for this one actually.
Yeah, very cool game. Way Forward did a lot of unique games back in the day. They still are doing cool games. But what the stuff they were putting out back then was like, wow, this is really cool.
I know, this is so unique. Again, it's random battles that are shoot 'em ups.
Yep.
That's so cool, right?
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So my next game here is going to be from one of my favorite RPG series. We have Star Ocean, First Departure for PS4 and the Switch. Great action RPG. I came to know the series from the second game, which is called The Second Story, which is still to this day the most popular game. But going back to the first game, I remember I did a little review on it, and not Konami, but Square Enix.
Right.
I'm old school. They sent me a code for it, and because they liked my review for it. So when Limited Run said they were putting out a physical for it, I said I had to hop on it because I just love the Star Ocean series that much. Like I just have to have like all of them. So.
Is it? Did this originally come out on the PlayStation 1?
So that one originally came out on the Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. Okay.
Yeah, it got translated, but it got a fan translation, and then it got a remake on the PSP, which is what this is based off of.
Okay.
So same voice acting and everything like that. It did a little bit of upgrade, but Square Enix didn't want to make a physical for it, so I guess Limited Run talked them into doing it.
Okay.
Now we're here, but what this game has to do is it's made by the same people who made the Tales of series, like Tales of Fantasia game. So if you know them, they're called Memphis. I forget the name of them. You guys will know, but. But yeah, it's definitely a really good series, and I just I can always come back to it, man. So I had to go ahead and pick this up, you know.
Do you have every Star Ocean game at this point?
I do.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. Not every version, like I don't have a Japanese version of certain ones. Sure. But yeah, most of the ones you need, I have all of them. So I even got a Star Ocean based PSP. So
that's right.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture of it. Yeah, but I have that too. So yeah.
All right, next up for me is a game that I told you about because I was like, dude, this game is special.
Yeah.
Okay. And you didn't believe me.
Uh-oh.
And then about a week later, you're like, dude, I'm thinking of picking this up. And I was like, you should pick this game up. I'll be curious to know if you played it yet. That is called UFO 50.
I have not. It's still sealed. I got it about a week ago.
Dude, this game is so interesting. So basically what this is that it is 50 indie games on one cartridge, one release. And the way that they frame this is that it's like you find this old school, I think it's like an old school PC, kind of like a PC 98 or some Japanese in it. And in there are all these floppy games, all these fake games that were released for the system. The reason why this game is so special is because so many of the games are extremely good and stand on their own. Like, there's been a lot of compilations that people have done over the years. Obviously, some on the NES that are kind of notoriously bad. These are actually really good, and I want to say they had 6 or 8 developers working several years making them.
So it's been in development for 7 years.
Yes, and that's why it's so good, and that's why it covers so many genres. And so when you first get this game, none of the games are you have to kind of click on them to activate them, and then you play them, and you kind of do that. And by the way, a little spoiler for you. There's actually 51.
Oh, wow.
Yes, there's actually one extra game. But what's cool is that it covers all sorts of different genres, and they kind of mix and match genres too. So they'll take a really popular game, let's say a platforming game, and add in maybe a golf simulator or, these type of things. Including, there's actually a 60-hour RPG in here as well.
Really?
Yes.
Let me ask you this. How did that game catch your eye?
I heard about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was our friend Derek from Stop Skeletons from Fighting. He would not shut up about it online. And people kept saying, it's like, don't skip this game. Don't skip this.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that finally I was like, okay, fine. Read a review, and that's kind of what people are saying. It's like, no, you get like 50 brand new games that are way better than they should be.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I got it. So that's why I want you guys also to get it too, because it is something special, something different.
Yeah, he talked me into getting it, so I feel like it's going to be something special. But yeah, I just feel like looking at the cover for me, I wouldn't have paid any attention for
the name.
Yeah, and the name too.
I completely agree. It's kind of a weird thing. And by the way, I also want to mention that it goes in chronological order. So, for instance, at the very top, the very first game is the most simple original game, and so you might launch that and go, this isn't... No, trust me, as you go down the menu and you go down, they actually get more and more newer and complex and better graphics and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, just kind of poke around in and play stuff, and you'll find games that you like.
All right, cool. Very cool. Very happy talking me into getting this one.
Yeah.
Next one we got here. Oh, man. We have Airoheart for PS4 and a Switch. This is like a top-down Zelda-type game, pixelated and everything.
Huh.
My buddy John Houston told me about this game a couple years ago, and I forgot about it. Like, completely forgot to pick it up because it's published by a company called Sedesco, which I always buy a lot of their games because they're like budget title prices and everything. I was at a GameStop, and I recently saw the PS4 version, and I was like, dude, I remember this game. And I picked it up immediately. I'm not saying it's as polished as a Zelda type game, but like if you are fans of like games like Link to the Past and stuff like that, you could tell like this game went kind of like a not spiritual successor, but it's kind of like the people who love Zelda obviously made this game.
Yeah.
So, definitely really cool. Haven't got that far in it yet, but it's just something I wanted to pick up because I love that it has that old school feel to it, old school look. So definitely if you're a Zelda fan. Old school Zelda fan, I would say definitely try this one out. A lot of people don't even know it exists.
No, I never heard that before. That's wild. Yeah. Cool. All right, well, speaking of old school, let's talk about some new Evercade releases. Yes. I know, right? Yes. So I have two of the newer ones here. The Turrican Collection. The Turrican, yeah. I know, that's a car. They have 8 games in there and covering. That's a really cool collection because essentially it's Turrican 1. It's like
2 Mega Turrican,
the director's cut,
version,
and it's cool because it covers not only like the computer versions, but then also the NES version or the Super NES versions, the Mega Drive versions of it, the Genesis version. So
Evercade is killing it with these collections, man. I feel like when people saying the physical media is like diminishing like that, we got people like Evercade to have our back. It's like, dude,
And I know I've said this before. These are only $30, and you own it. They're fully licensed. They come with full color manuals. I mean, it's pretty cool that they do that. But the other one that they did also too is Taito Arcade 3.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and so this has got some other good games in there too, like Kadash. It's got Puzzle Bobble, which of course never gets old, and some other games on there.
Zookeeper, Fairyland Story, which I know very well. What else we have? And Football Champ. Wow.
Yeah,
good stuff on it. Just let everybody know too. The purple carts are arcade ports, and then
that's true.
The red carts are usually like console ports of games. So just to let people know the differences. So
and you can use them on all the different devices. It doesn't really matter. It's just that you're absolutely right. Is that if you want to kind of like when you get a bunch of them, you're right that the purple
I separate them by the colors and everything like that. So I love their arcade releases a lot, man. Those are like some of my favorites.
I know, and then they have console, they have computer releases,
computer ones. Yeah, those are
like the Commodore 64 ones and stuff. Yeah,
and Neo Geo they started doing.
I know.
Yeah. Evercade. Shout out to them.
Yep.
Cool. So my next item here is something that's is from the good old days, and
good old days.
That is the good old days for the Switch.
Oh, it actually is the good old days.
So this is a Metroidvania type game. I found out randomly on YouTube, and only one guy did a review on it. I'm sorry I forgot his name, but if you're familiar with like the movie The Goonies, it feels like whoever the person who created this game was a fan of the Goonies because it's like it's just like that story. Like so, basically, a kid, his house is about to get repossessed, and he has to get a certain amount of money before the end of the day. And your friends have to help you get the money, but you have to rescue your friends during the game, and you can switch between them during certain events. You fight bosses, but the bosses, some of the bosses in the game looks like the Goonies enemies. The lady and her two sons look exactly like them, which is hilarious. So I thought that was great. Most you guys have seen the Goonies, know who I'm talking about. But it's one of those games that it'll probably get overlooked, and I want to put the word out for it. A good Metroidvania game, pixelated, good music, good boss battles. I mean, on the cheap, you know, I shouldn't say on the cheap. It's right now it's a retail game, and it goes for like $30. So
not 60, 70, 80.
Or nothing crazy like that. Whereas this game is still in retail. You get this on Amazon.
Okay.
But definitely a good game, guys. My buddy Sean beat it, and he loved it. It has multiple endings, so it's a bunch of endings in this game. So you can put a lot of hours in this game, depending on the decisions you make. So yeah, keep your eye out for the good old days.
Okay, that's cool. All right, next up, something a little bit different for me. So I get, you know how when you go on the back end of YouTube, you can see when someone kind of tags you. Mm-hmm. So a guy of another channel tagged me that he basically went and found a bunch of big box PC games, and he tagged me and he's like, "Hey, do you need any of these for the collection?" Mm-hmm. And he had a couple that I was not familiar with, and so I have those right here. And these two are these are old school PC games. Mm-hmm. The first one here is Sons of Liberty, and essentially what this is, it's a wartime strategy game, very old school, where it deals with the Revolutionary War, and you replay 3 key battles from that. And what's cool about this game is that it's got a book in there that actually breaks down those real battles and shows you how you might want to play or change history. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
What the hell is this packed with all this good stuff, man? Like
I know, right?
Like, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the games we get today, we just get the cart in.
Yeah. I know. Back then it's like, you know, they actually put some time in it. And then here is Legends of Valor, which is a little bit newer game. This is an RPG, and what's cool about this game is that this was one of the first games to have true 3D rendered graphics, like when you're cruising around town and stuff like that. And what I like about this one too is that the manual, the first like 5 or 6 pages are basically a newspaper, and so they kind of break down sort of, you know, the rules of the game into this newspaper that's fun to read. Okay. So again, to your point, they put a lot of effort into stuff like this, which is pretty cool.
Very cool, man. Right on.
Yeah, so I want to give a shout out to the YouTube channel that sent me these. Thank you very much. It is Just Your Average Gamer is the name of his channel, so I appreciate it, dude. That was very cool of you.
Yeah, good looking out on that.
Yeah, I know. It's some games that I hadn't seen before or in a long, long time, so thank you very much for that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so next game here. I meant to talk about this on the last because we did. This is Penny's Big Breakaway for the Switch and PS5.
Oh,
dude,
have I heard of this?
I'm pretty sure you have, man. It's been out.
This is with the yo-yo.
Yes.
Oh, dude, I want to get a copy of this.
Dude,
this looks cool.
It was so much fun, dude. Like if you're a fan of like Mario 64 type games, I mean that yo-yo could do so much stuff, man.
I've heard, dude. Okay, I didn't realize that this got a physical.
Yeah, it got a physical, dude. I was like, had to pick it up. Dude.
Okay, cool.
Very fun game, very compelling, very cartoony looking. It just really pulls you into that old school era of 3D platformers, and it goes above and beyond when it comes up with what you can do with the yo-yo. You attack enemies, you swing on it.
That's right, yeah. I watched a bunch of reviews of this, and I was like, wow, that game looks way better. And a lot of people were at the time going, pick up a copy of this game, please. Yes. Like, you know.
Definitely. So my buddy David went to the limited run store for me, and he picked it up, because when he goes to the store, we usually take orders for our friends, and he picked it up for me. So good looking out, David. I appreciate you, brother.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to be looking for this. That's cool. All right. Okay, next up for me, something a little bit different than that. That is a Metroidvania game called Ariana and the Elder Codex. And it also has a bunch of little like posters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is a really fun Metroidvania game. By the way, the cover is reversible.
Yeah. It's nice, dude. I do that too.
Yeah, I do it. Yeah. So yeah, just a really fun game. I haven't got too far into it, but basically, you know, you're platforming around, you're brawling, you're doing all the Metroidvania stuff. I will say this game looks absolutely gorgeous. That is one thing, is that the pixel art style that it has to this, or the retro style, is just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, and it's got a little hub area too where you can talk to people and kind of advance the story a little bit. But this seems like your kind of game.
It is. I love Metroidvania types, and it looks like it's got elements in it, items you can use, and all that stuff. So this is definitely up my alley. Yeah, very cool. Man.
I think that's actually going to go home with you, actually, because I feel like this needs to be your game. Yeah,
you know what? It gets a fist bump.
Yeah,
appreciate you, bro. Right on. So my next game here is Irem Collection Volume 3. I hope I'm saying Irem pronouncing it right, because I just don't know how to really.
I assume that's okay.
Yeah. But this is a collection of shoot 'em ups, pretty much, and it comes with 3. But the one I've been wanting on here is Mystic Riders. It's a game that I've been wanting to get a physical release for years. It's a really cool horizontal shoot 'em up, and very colorful, just very fun. And a lot of people have talked about it over the years. And you can only play the game via emulators, or if it was installed on some aftermarket console that had a bunch of games in it.
Oh, okay,
that had
like
core emulation or whatever like that. But now they put it in this collection, and I just beat the game recently, and it gets pretty tough towards the end. It's definitely one of those shoot 'em ups that you try to get your quarters out of you, because it's like it gets a little bit bullet hell, but it's more like a shoot 'em up. But that's where the difficulty comes in, because it's trying to be a bullet hell and take your money from you. But overall, it was pretty fun. I would say if you were playing this in the arcade, it finish the game, it might cost you $10 the first time. So, but very cool game. So yeah, definitely that's the one I was really focused on. It has other games on there like Mr. Hilly. It's more like that's like a Fantasy Star. Like, what's that game called? Super Fantasy Zone game. It plays like that type of game.
Oh, Fantasy Zone. Okay,
yeah, it plays like that. Okay. And then a Dragon Breed. That one was fun because you can use the dragon to block shots and help you take out enemies. But the thing I don't like about that one is if you get killed, you got to reset from a checkpoint. You know, I don't like playing games like that.
Dude, I haven't played any of these, so maybe after this video I might have to check this out.
Yeah, they're very cool. And and Play Asia, they had it immediately. And,
they did. That's where you got this. Okay.
Very cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Huh. All right. Awesome. All right, dude. So I just have my last hidden gem. How many do you got left?
I got 2 more, so let me knock these out real fast. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure you guys want to see the hidden gem. This item right here, Ace Combat 5 with the flight stick.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's got force feedback and everything, from what I remember. I actually bought that thing when I first moved to Seattle, and I got rid of it like years ago. But I saw it at my local game store, and playing Ace Combat games with that stick just makes it so much better. I mean, I've
never done that,
dude. You have a table or whatever like that, and you just have it like locked in, and you're playing. It's amazing. And that's the first flight stick I ever owned. The next one they made actually came out for the 360 for Ace Combat Part 6, I remember. And then they had a Hori one for the PS3 for those games on that system. But man, it just makes the game so much better.
Yeah, it does.
It's just like that's serious business right there. And I thought it'd be cool to show, because it's something I had years ago on the PS2 and I got rid of it, which I regretted. Yeah. But when I saw it at my local store, I said that's coming home with me, and boom, back in the collection again. So
all right,
I can't wait to have that set up. But
yeah, I bet.
A lot of Ace Combat fans don't even know about that one. They think the 360 was the first one that had the flight stick with it. So yeah. But here is a Holy Grail.
Okay. Now, this is your hidden gem at the end, right?
Not my total hidden gem, but just my cool item.
Oh, your cool item. Okay.
Yeah, we're not at the hidden gem just yet. I know you guys are excited. But this is like from when me and Jason started doing these pickups videos. In that first video, we showed like a really cool item at the end. Yours was the portable Commodore 64 system. Mine was the test system PS2. And now I have here, I got a PlayStation 3 tool system here.
Where the heck did you get this?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. What I was saying is kind of full circle. I got that from the same guy I got the PS2 test system from.
Is he a local person?
He is a local person. I don't know if I can say his name.
For sure.
We'll just call him Rob.
Okay.
You know, this is a name.
I mean, well, we have so many developers around here. It's not that surprising.
Right, yeah. Exactly. Okay. And this was a backup he had. You know, he still has he has like a prototype for almost all the systems, which was amazing.
Dude.
Because we've been talking about doing this for years. I finally hit him up and said, hey, man, you still have those systems, man. Let's make this what happen. And, man, he hooked it up. And the other thing I got from him, I got a test system PS3. So this is a different one from the one I already have. It doesn't have that flap that pulls up now. You know, that's missing out of this one. The other one does has that flap.
Wow,
and everything
so
like that. So that system right there, you can do so much. Obviously, you could do it. It's a development tool.
Yeah.
But man, I think out of all the systems, well, at least out of the ones I want, the only other system I need, like a test system, is the PS1. I think it's that black one or the blue one. I can't remember which one it is. But it's just something really cool to own.
Well, you're such a big PlayStation fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah, that's very, very cool. Do you mess with them very much?
So, I've had them for a month, and I don't plan on messing with them right now because the first thing I want to do with these things is change the thermal paste. Even with these systems and the retail PS3s, you want to change the thermal paste because thermal paste back then wasn't obviously that good. They have better thermal paste now, and I want to make sure these systems are stay running while I'm alive. So,
they're just older too. I mean, I'm sure it just dries up over time.
Oh, 100%. You know, these systems are 20 years old, so not that I'm going to be playing them hard, but they have so many features in them. I mean, on that system right there, it has a mock-up of the old school PlayStation Store that you could go shopping on, which is crazy. I was like, dude, it also has like a well, you can even update it too. I don't think I'm going to update it because I don't want it to take any features out. I'm going to look up the updates and see what's going on with it and see what the forum people are saying about it. But just something like really cool to have. Oh yeah, like it's just pretty amazing. So happy to have this. So
that's funny you mentioned that because there is a guy that I met years ago, probably 15 years ago, that has a bunch of dev kits. They're Nintendo dev kits, and they are sitting in his closet. I should reach out to him because he's got just if anything, just to do videos on him. I think it'd be pretty cool. So
yeah, definitely. So so now guys, are you ready? Because we're about to do
hidden gems.
Hidden gems. Let's take a look.
All right, we're going to go with my hidden gem here at the end. And like I mentioned in the intro, I've been looking for this for years, literally. So obviously you guys know that I worked at Sierra. And one of the things I've been trying to do over the years is try to get back in my collection some of the games that were released during that time. And the vast majority of them are pretty easy to find.
Right.
But we did release some really weird games during that time that I used to have sitting at my desk. And now, especially getting a complete copy is actually fairly hard to do. And that is this one right here. It is called The Bizarre Adventures of Woodruff and Schnibble.
What the heck?
Yes.
Dude.
So this was made by one of our subsidiaries, the Cocktail Vision, which also made the Goblins games. They released this point-and-click adventure game back when I was working there for Windows. Probably Windows 3.1 or 95, something like that. Yeah, it's pretty old. However, this is such a weird and cool point-and-click adventure game. It's trippy. Dude, you guys are you're seeing the footage here. It's so weird, so bizarre. It takes place kind of in the future. Now, you notice the tear. So I've had a search set up for years because this game can run complete $200-$300, sometimes more.
Really?
Yes, for a PC game, that's a lot. I finally found a copy of it, and it has this little tear here, and I was able to get it for way, way less.
Perfect. Yeah, that tear was worth it.
Totally worth it. Totally fine. Other than that, it's completely complete. So
very cool. So this says it's for Windows CD. So was that like just? It's basically just.
I'm trying to remember. It might be a Windows 3.1 or Windows 95 because you're absolutely right. It would normally say the specific version of Windows, and I just don't remember. Yeah, Windows 3.1 is so it's really old. However, it still actually holds up today. Like. It's just because it's animated and because of the art style and because everything is kind of retro anyways now, that going back and replaying this is like, first of all, it's completely wacky, as you can tell by the name, the Woodruff and the Schnibble, because what the hell's that about? But yeah, so it takes place in the future. It's very weird, very bizarre, very kind of odd, but it's also... the people who did buy it because it didn't sell very well love this game. And so the other thing I want to mention too is that this is the US name for it, but it actually got a different name in Europe and stuff like that. So when you're online and you're looking for a copy of this, just notice that there's really only one Woodruff and a Schnibble, but it has two different names depending on the territory.
Okay.
But a really fun point-and-click adventure game that most people probably have never heard of.
Right. Hidden gem.
Yeah.
All right, right on. So my game, you guys have heard me talk about it on the channel before, but I got to let everybody know, just in case they didn't see those videos, my hidden gem is Gylt for the PS5.
I vaguely remember this.
PS4 and Switch. This is a survival horror game where you play as a little girl looking for a friend that's been lost for a while, and she ends up in a demonic version of her city in school. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of Alan Wake and Silent Hill. It's a pretty cool game that I just think a lot of people don't know about. Originally, it was supposed to come out. It came out for the Stadia as vaporware, obviously.
Stadia?
Yeah, it was exclusive for the Stadia.
Oh, okay.
Thank goodness that they decided to make it a physical, because this game is definitely worth having a physical. I almost got my platinum trophy in that too. I gotta collect some notes or something like that. But it's a good survival horror game. It's a good survival horror game for beginners too. Okay. You know, it has some scary moments in it. Not too scary, but it has some trippy moments in it. I think a lot of people will appreciate. You know, so definitely something people should check out.
Wow, okay. Yeah. I do remember
Don't feel guilty about playing it. Yeah, I know. I had to say that, dude.
You had to say that. All right, dude. Another pickups video in the bank. We did it again.
Yeah, again. And we put a little hidden gems in there. A little bit old school for you guys.
And we're going to do it again. So we're going to keep the pickups videos coming, man.
That's right. We'll have another one ready for you guys in a certain amount of time. So keep on the lookout for that. But really appreciate you guys. Yep. And where can they find you?
On this channel, go down and click subscribe and click the thumbs up and share it on social media. Where can people find you?
The Radical One on YouTube, Instagram, and wherever other social media I might be at. But definitely YouTube. Check me out there.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Take care.